Good afternoon. We're here on Chapman Way, over next to the old St Francis Hospital. I'm about to show you around flat 51, which you can't see it, but it's behind these trees. We're here midsummer, so it's a lovely time of year. I'm just going to quickly walk you out the front, just to give you a better idea of where you are. Should have pointed out actually where my white car there, the funky fridge, is parked. That is your allocated parking space. But we're actually right on the entrance to South Downs Park, which, as mentioned, that's the old former St Francis Hospital, an old Victorian Grade 2 listed hospital. It was all converted into apartments back at the end of the 1990s. And we are right here. So you can see the entrance into South Downs Park, next to the old chapel, which is just there. And the flat, again, is hidden behind those trees. So it's nice and private at this time of year. I'm just going to look through the windows. It's actually up through there. You can see those lovely long windows. That is the flat. So come this way and let's show you around. Now these are rather lovely. These were built back in 2011 by Charles Church Homes. They're a very good builder. They're now part of the Persimmon Group. And they built these 3 blocks. So you've got one big block there, another one here, and a smaller one on the end, plus a selection of townhouses. Obviously, being a leasehold property, you pay an estate charge. The charges for this flat per year are £1,700. The flat in question you can see is that one there. Oh, sorry, that one at the end there with that lovely long window. Remember that window when we go up. And I'll wedge the door open. There is a secure entry system, but actually I'll put a twig in the door just to enable me to walk straight in. So, well managed block. Now there is actually, I've mentioned the cost of 1,700 quid a year. There is an additional cost. For the last 2 years, they've all been paying into a sinking fund to pay for all these corridors to be redecorated and new carpets, and I think all the external decoration. So they didn't have enough money in the pot. So it's actually cost them an extra, well, not quite £3,000 a year, but roughly an extra bit of money. And the final payment is in early 2026. And our client is happy to pay that cost. So you won't have to pay any extra costs. So flat 51. Now this flat is around about, I think, 760, 770 square feet. So it's a bit bigger than your average 2-bedroom flat. And in this building, some of these were shared equity or part by part rent properties. They only have 1 bathroom. These are the private ones which had the 2 bathrooms. But one thing I love, look at this entrance lobby. I mean, that could be a really nice home office with that great big full length window. Got a huge cupboard, huge walk-in cupboard there. Across the hall, the bathroom. Absolutely spotless. And then 1 bedroom here. So this is actually the 2nd bedroom with, again, another one of those full length windows. So the first floor flats, in my opinion, are the nicest in the building because they've got these lovely long windows. So that's the 2nd bedroom. Down the hall, you've got the main bedroom. Lovely big double bedroom. Again, these are sash style windows. So when I walk through the alleyway, you can see just down there is where I was poking my way through the hedge. So double bedroom, and this one has the ensuite shower room with an oversized shower. And then next door, great big living room. So again, every window other than the kitchen has got one of these full length windows. Obviously in the winter, you're going to see across the road a bit better, but it's nice and private. So generous living room, and then a separate kitchen with various built-in appliances. If you follow my videos, you'll know I do love a window in the kitchen, so at least you can open the window and let some fresh air in. Whereas most of these modern flats are very much open plan in the living rooms, and the kitchen area is often built in. So I've mentioned the charges. You've got a 125-year lease from 2011. The ground rent is currently £300 a year. It goes up by £100 every 10 years. So fast forward from 2011, you're going to have obviously another review in 2031 where it will go to £400 a year. So all very straightforward, and it's very well managed. So there you go. That is 51 Chapman Way. It's for sale through Mansell McTaggart in Haywards Heath. If you like what you see, or if you're looking generally, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, or better still, register with us on our mailing list direct to find out about properties that are not necessarily on Rightmove. Thanks for watching.